Kala, Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Brakatawa, Brakatawa Shai, Brakatawa, Brakatawa Shai, Brakatawa, Brakatawa Shai, the water, above, called Kadash. Doing a lesson this morning, and the title was going to be, There's No Honor Amongst Thieves. And right now, DJ Trump, he's implementing those tariffs, he's going in, and these other nations are displeased, and these other nations are the ones that's going to turn on Babylon the Great, which is America. And all these other nations, man, they all thieves, man. They all make merchandise, mainly of you Israelites, in these other nations, the weaker nations. So they're really thieves, and they go in there and steal all the resources and exploit the people and destroy the people. So we're going to go to Revelation chapter 17, verse 15. And he saith unto me, the waters which thou sawest. Okay, hold on, let me go back. It's Revelation 17, which is the Apostle John, which is in the island of Patmos, and he had this vision, and he's talking about the whore that sits upon the whore that sits upon the beast, and the beast is NATO and these other European nations, and the whore that sits upon the beast is Mystery Babylon the Great, is America. And she's the one that pretty much, sets the pace for all these other nations. She's become a dominant power over the earth. And these other nations as well, because they go and exploit the resources and the people of all these other nations. And these are the thieves of the earth. Mainly run by Esau, Edom, but you have other nations like Moab and these other nations, the Ishmael, they do their part too, as well. But all these other nations, they're going to turn on that whore. And the woman was arrayed in purple, verse 4, and the woman was arrayed in purple, scarlet color, and decked with gold and precious stones and pearls, having a golden cup in her hand full of the abominations of filthiness of her fornication. And that woman, like I said, is America. And upon her forehead was the name written, Mystery Babylon the Great, the mother of harlots and abominations of the earth. And I saw the woman drunken with the blood of the saints and with the blood of martyrs of Yahushua. And when I saw her, I went up with great admiration. Because, you imagine Apostle John during his time, and he has the vision. He's seen America in all her splendor with the neon lights. And, imagine New York City, and you just time traveling to New York City from 2,000 years back. And you're going to be like marveled, man, at what you see. Let me drop down. We're going to drop down to verse 13, still in Revelation chapter 17. They have one mind and shall give their power and strength unto the beast. And these shall make war with the Lamb, and the Lamb shall overcome them. And this is the Lord, talking about Yahushua, and the King of Kings, and they that are with are called the chosen and faithful. Verse 18, and the woman which thou sawest is the great city, which reigneth over the kings of the earth. Let's lock it. Hold on. We're going to go to Revelation chapter 18, verse 17. For in 1 hour, so great riches is come to naught, and every shipmaster and all the company of the ships and sailors, and as many as trade by sea stood afar off, because there's a big trade going on, especially here in Babylon the Great. All these other nations, through the tariffs that are implemented, make a lot of money off of Babylon the Great. And they cried when they saw the smoke of her burning, saying, "What city is like unto the great city?" And they cast dust on their heads and cried, weeping and wailing, saying, "Alas, alas, that great city wherein was made rich all that has ships and sea by sea of her costliness, for in 1 hour she is made desolate." And all these other nations, they're going to turn on Babylon the Great. And they're going to shoot their missiles over here to destroy this place. That's why we look for salvation, to be delivered out of that judgment that's going to come on Babylon the Great, that whore that sits upon the beast. And like I said, DJ Trump, he's raising up the tariffs, and you can't be mad. Really, he's doing was should have been done a long time ago. It should have never happened. Like I said, I remember in the 80s and the late 90s, early 90s, that I think when Clinton came in, he made this this tariff agreement, which was called I just said it a minute ago, NAFTA. And a lot of people was protesting because they knew it was going to take a lot of jobs, manufacturing jobs, out of America, and it's going to definitely affect the people. But it was all about making money for the super rich, the oligarchs. So he was able to take their monies to other places like China, because China at that time was almost like a third world country. India and all these other places, they had the people, but they didn't have money, and so they started taking those jobs over there, exploiting the people for cheap labor. And now China has come up, India and all these other nations have come up, and same time, the American people have gone without jobs. The economy has struggled up under. And really, it was designed basically to affect, you so-called Israelites, you so-called Black, Hispanics, and Native Americans. But now it affects all, Even these other Edomites are now suffering the consequences of those trade agreements. And so Trump is really trying to bring these jobs back. So it's, really on paper, it sounds good and look good. But at the end of the day, we know we're really going to a digital age, and everything's going to be changed over. Everything's going to be run by robotics. It's going to be run by AI. And they're not going to really need a workforce for this new age that they're trying to bring in here, that new world order. And so, like I said, there's no honor amongst thieves, man, because I remember these other nations, they went to exploit all these other nations, like Haiti, islands in the South Caribbean, South America, Africa, and all these other nations, have been exploited by these European NATO allies, and the people have suffered, and all their resources have been taken out and used to make these other countries rich. And let me get to my other part of the lesson. So now these thieves, they all turning on one another. And it's a beautiful thing, because Yahweh Ba'Shem, Yahweh Shai has set this up. And we're not even talking about what's going on in the so-called Middle East, which we know as Western Asia. And all that's about to jump off. So let me go in Job chapter 9, verse 24. The earth is given to the hand of the wicked. He covereth the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is he? So who is the wicked? Who is the one that's ruling the earth right now until Yahweh Shah makes his return? It's mainly these European nations, but you got these other nations too coming up, like Moab, the Chinese, Ishmael, and these other nations. But really, Esau Edom is the one that's running the whole world. They want to make policy that changes the whole world. Proverbs chapter 29, verse 2. When the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. But when the wicked beareth rule, the people mourn. And right now, the whole world is suffering up under the rulership of these devils, man. And people are crying out, especially the Israelites, because you're the main ones that they exploit and punish the most, St. John chapter 10, verse 10. The thief cometh not but for to steal, to kill, and to destroy. I have come that they may have life, and that they might have it more abundantly. So if Yahweh Shai don't come, man, it's not going to be no life here on earth. And because we have a higher power, man, that we can call on that for deliverance, because once this place pop off, those missiles get shot over here, we look for salvation to be delivered out of it. And that's what we call on the power. We call on the true name of the Lord, Yahweh Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, that we may be delivered out of this judgment that's about to come on to this place. With these tariffs, that's going to kick in something else. It's going to be famine. There's going to be food shortages. Price of goods. Already telling you it's going to be a 25% hike on all your foods, all your goods and services. These supplies that's coming in. So he said, who's going to eat that 25% up? You consumers, and who's going to get hit the most? You so-called Black, Hispanics, Native Americans. So everything is really unfolded, as scriptures has told us, in prophecy to happen. So that's going to bring on Jacob's trouble. It's going to bring on, about to bring out the MOTB, which is going to be that charagma that everybody's going to have to get, because they're talking about going into that digital age where they're going to chip everybody. And then after that, the third woe, and then the return of our Lord, man. So Lord will, we're able to endure, and Lord, with this lessons edifying. With that, say shalom.